We all know what a clean space feels like. But do we ever really stop and think about the true cost of getting it that way? Today, we're diving into the professional cleaning industry and taking a look at one company, iTeam Global, that's trying to completely re engineer its purpose. They're trying to answer a massive question: can cleaning actually be a force for good? And this statement right here, this is the core idea that drives everything they do. It's so powerful because it just completely challenges the way we think about cleaning. We usually see it as a process of consumption, right? You're using water, you're using energy, you're using human effort. But iTeam wants to totally flip that script and turn cleaning into an act of regeneration.
So that's the big question for this explainer, isn't it? How on earth do you take an industry with a massive footprint and transform it into something positive? I mean, it sounds almost impossible, but that's exactly the challenge iTeam has set for itself. So let's break down how they're actually tackling this.
Okay, so first things first, we have to understand the problem they're trying to solve. Those sparkling floors and clean surfaces we all appreciate, well, they often come at a pretty significant hidden cost, both for the people doing the work and, you guessed it, for the planet. Just take a look at the reality of this work. The numbers are, well, they're pretty stark. 1 in 2 cleaning professionals experience low back pain. That's half. A third of the entire workforce is over 55, which makes that physical strain even tougher to handle. And on top of all that, the old school tools use a ton of water and energy, and the chemical sprays can even cause breathing problems. This is the status quo that iTeam is so determined to change. So, how do you even begin to fix all this? Well, for iTeam, the answer starts by completely rethinking the tools themselves. Their whole approach is about designing technology that serves two masters equally: the person who's actually using it and the environment that it impacts. And this is the perfect illustration of their philosophy in action. This is the iMop, their flagship product. And yeah, it looks different because it is different. It was designed from the ground up to be faster, way more ergonomic, and incredibly efficient with things like water and energy. So it's not just a new mop, it's a totally new way of thinking about the job itself. So how does this new technology actually help their mission? Well, the first huge impact is on the cleaners themselves. This isn't just about making the work a little bit easier, it's about elevating the entire role and making the job more sustainable for the people who do it day in and day out. And this is such a fascinating shift in perspective. The goal is to transform the job from, this repetitive manual labor into a role that's centered on surface, care, and actual human interaction. By making the cleaning process smarter and faster, it frees up time and energy for what people do best. And here's a great example of how they do it. They use these things called cobots, or collaborative robots, to take over the really monotonous work, like the long, repetitive passes across huge floors. But this doesn't replace people. It actually frees them up to focus on the details, to interact with guests, and to really manage the environment they're in. The machine handles the meters, so people can handle the moments that matter. But of course, empowering people is only half of the equation. The other half is the dramatic reduction of their environmental footprint. And this is where the engineering really shines, with benefits you can actually measure. Get this, 81%. That is a massive number. According to independent research, that's how much less water the iMop uses compared to traditional mopping. Just think about that on a global scale for a second. We're talking about saving hundreds of millions of liters of water every single year. But here's the really cool part. Saving all those resources isn't the end of the story. iTeam built a system where those savings don't just, disappear. They're actually channeled into creating a direct positive impact somewhere else in the world. And here is what that impact looks like in numbers. That initial water saving has been transformed into over 1.89 billion liters of clean drinking water donated to communities that desperately need it. And they pull this off through a really clever partnership. It's a partnership with the Made Blue Foundation, and the concept is so simple but so profound. For every single liter of water an iMop uses, iTeam donates a matching liter of clean drinking water. But it's so much more than just a donation. This program has given over 26,000 people access to a lifetime supply of clean water, and it prevents thousands of tons of CO2 and plastic waste by funding sustainable infrastructure that's owned and maintained by the local communities themselves. So, okay, you've got this positive impact on people and a positive impact on the planet. But what does all of this mean for the business itself? Well, it means embracing a totally new definition of success. one that isn't just measured by profit, but by purpose. To make this commitment official, iTeam went after a B Corp certification. Now, for anyone who's not familiar, B Corp is a super rigorous global standard for companies. It means they meet the absolute highest levels of social and environmental performance, they're transparent, and they're legally accountable. The B literally stands for benefit for all. And guess what? They did it. iTeam officially became a B Corp with a really strong score of 91.5. And this isn't some one-time award they can just hang on the wall. It's an ongoing commitment. They have to get recertified every 3 years, which basically forces them to keep getting better and holds them accountable. Which brings us to what's next. For iTeam, becoming a B Corp wasn't the finish line. It was really just the starting block for their next phase of their journey, and they have a super clear roadmap for what comes next. Their plan is laid out in 3 really clear phases. So they just finished phase 1, building that foundation and getting certified. Done. Next, they're stepping it up, setting science-based emission targets. And then finally, phase 3 is all about making it stick, fully integrating all of these sustainable practices into the DNA of their daily operations. So it's not some special project, it's just the way they work. And this brings us right back to that incredible idea from the beginning. iTeam Global gives us this fascinating case study in the cleaning industry, but it leaves us with a much bigger question to chew on. What would our world look like if every essential industry, from logistics to food production, adopted this exact same mindset? What if they all aims to leave behind value, not waste? That's a powerful thought to end on.